It's the return of the creative series where Siri determines which direction my world expands in and also how many bedrooms I have to add in the next episode. So, if you did watch the last episode, you'll know that Siri told me to unlock this block that we're looking at right now. And it is going to be a longer video today. I'm actually going to show you the whole build. As you can see, I've not built anything yet. I've just sort of broken the fence there so I can keep the world expanding in this direction that I was told to. And you might also remember, if you have watched it, that I've been told to make a 5-bedroom house. Now, that is definitely going to be a challenge. That's the upper limit of what I've been asking from Siri. And yeah, super concerned about the space I've got to make it work in. Now, if I'm honest, I don't know if I'm fully happy with the end result. So, I mean, you'll see it yourself, and maybe you can tell me if you've got any suggestions. But yeah, you're going to get a full walkthrough build of what I decide to do. And I do make this house a little bit different to the ones that I've done so far. I mean, I know it's going to be bigger because obviously it's a 5-bedroom house, but it also uses deep slate bricks, which I think are quite nice to look at. They had a bit of contrast. It's just if they're overused, it's a bit too much. So I do deep slate bricks with just normal bricks. So I'm trying to think now about exactly where I want to put this 5-bedroom house. I mean, it's got to go in this space that I've unlocked, surely. I keep thinking about this world as well, and you know, when it's getting to the point of like, if I'm going to have farms and stuff, surely there's not going to be enough space for it. I don't know. So yeah, it's something I'm going to have to think about. I'm going to have like, I mean, I remember saying to someone years ago when I got my first ever job in like a pet shop, saying that, well, she was saying, and gosh, she was really, really wise. I thought I've just kept that cactus. It was too pretty to get rid of. I've just moved it. I've decided to level this off, by the way. I know I'm not explaining it, but I'll get into it. So I was trying to decide where to put the house, and there just wasn't enough space anywhere. So I thought, right, we're going to have to level and just use this space that we've got. So yeah, talking to that colleague that I had back when I did my first job in a pet shop, which has now turned into a funeral director's, which to me is really, really sad. I mean, it's great that it's still being used, but it was a family-run business that had been going for like over 100 years, passed down through generations. And I know that the way things have been going and stuff, like times are tough. But I think it was more a case of apparently the son of the person that owned it didn't want to inherit the business, which is crazy. I mean, gosh, I wish I could have afforded to buy it. I absolutely loved working there, to be fair. The pay was rubbish. I mean, it was minimum wage, fair enough. I get it. It's a family business, whatever. So not lots of money to spend on wages and stuff, I would imagine. Yeah, and like I say, I think times were tough. So eventually it got sold on and turned into a funeral director's. But the whole point of me waffling about this was I had a discussion with a colleague there about how, you know, houses are getting built everywhere and soon there's not going to be a lot of farmland, things like that. You might wonder why I'm placing these blocks here. I was going to try and put like a little, like, kind of alleyway down the side for the back garden. I mean, I was very naive thinking that this house could have a back garden because in reality there's not enough space for it. So that's the bay window for the living room. I will get back to my story. This is the awkward thing about when I pre-record, and I keep thinking I really should get myself a capture card so I can record live, but quite often I feel like playing the game and not talking, which is great because then I can just play the game and talk over it another time. It's also great when people are over because sometimes I can play the game while they're here, but I feel a bit awkward talking and doing the recordings when people are here. It's a bit embarrassing, like sitting and talking to yourself, but I mean, I know really I'm not sitting and talking to myself. People will watch what I'm doing. I wonder if this is in 1.5 speed. I think it's in normal speed. Let's have a look. Speed, normal. Yeah, fine. It seemed like normal speed. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. And then I'll get back to my boring story. Am I going to sneeze? Oh, excuse me. So we were talking about how houses were getting built everywhere and there's not going to be much farmland. And I'm quite the optimist, as you might know. I'm always like trying to find ways around things and look at the bright side and stuff. So I said, well, if I'm honest, I don't think it'll be a problem because there's always ways around it. And she was saying, well, how? You know, if they've not got the space, where are they going to grow the crops or whatever? And I said, well, couldn't you have like a multi-story car park, but instead of for cars, you grow plants in it? And yeah, I suppose she'd not really thought of that. So it'd be interesting. I'm sure there's places like it. I mean, you might have seen before, they've started doing these like vertical gardens. You can get them in like trailers and stuff. It sounds so dodgy, but it's literally for growing fruit and veg, and they're looking at all the different ways they can grow things and save space. So I think there's always usually a way around things. You just got to think outside the box sometimes. But the whole reason I was talking about that is I might have to do that in this world. If we need food to provide for everybody, if Siri keeps telling me to make 5 bedroom houses in these tiny little blocks, um, yeah, we might run into that kind of problem. And I've not really thought about food yet. I've assumed, what have we got now? This is the fourth house, isn't it? So I'm assuming at the minute that in these primitive stages, and I know these are not primitive houses at all. Um, oh, that's the wrong block. Let's fix that. In these primitive stages, people would just be going out hunting, wouldn't they? I can't wait till we get unlock a block that is next to the water. I mean, we're not far away from the water now, are we? So actually, if I get told to expand, remember behind me is north, the left is east, forward is south, and that way I'm facing now is west. So if I get told to expand to the east, it's not that far away from the water. And I think if we unlock like a waterside tile, then I can imagine, that someone can start a fishing trade up, or we can have a fishmongers. It will just get the trade flowing. We can actually have a business, I suppose, because not everyone would go and catch their own fish, would they? People are lazy; they'd go and buy it off someone else. And I don't know if you'd be allowed to do that. Like, can you just go out on a boat and catch your own fish? Like, surely there's rules. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I never eat fish anyway. Fish are like my favourite animal. So I always say that they're friends and not food, which I know is a bit silly. And I still used to love, I love processed food. I'm super unhealthy, but I love fish fingers, fish cakes, things like that. I think they're super tasty. I've not had them for a long time though, and I do generally say that fish are friends, not food. I've got a few fish myself. I've got goldfish in my living room. Not normal goldfish, they're the fantail ones or the fancy ones. Very pretty, lovely colours on them and everything. And then in my kitchen at the minute, I've got some koi. They were koi fry, so like baby koi. But they're growing up, and I'm hoping when it gets a little bit warmer, I might pop them in the garden this year. Just didn't want them to die, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. I've gone on a massive tangent, but can't wait to unlock a tile that is next to the water. And I'm gonna do like near the end of the episode to see which direction Siri wants me to expand into. So remember, this house has to be a 5 bedroom house. So I've already put 1 bedroom at the front, put 1 bedroom at the back. Those little blocks, those grey blocks that I've placed, are supposed to be bedside tables. I don't think I've furnished this house properly, so if it's something you want to see, let me know. Now, I've put like a little shower room, bathroom, whatever, in between those two houses, the one at the front and the one at the back. And then this little space here is so awkward. I was thinking, do I squeeze a bedroom in? Do I make it an ensuite? And yeah, I've obviously realised I've got to go up. And I think what I tried to do to start with is put like bedrooms in the attic, and I'm still struggling for space, so then I go up even more. And you might have seen from the thumbnail of the video that it ends up being like a house on top of a house. It's definitely not the prettiest. So if anyone wants me to rebuild it or has any suggestions, please let me know. I really did think you'll see that just down the side of the house there's obviously the path that cuts through to the house behind. And you might have seen before in my other creative series, I had like those courtyard buildings, and the buildings actually went over the path, as quite often happens in cities and things like that. And I did think, well, should I do that to save space? And I do think eventually, as it gets busier and busier, that is going to be the way forward. When you can't go outwards, you've got to go upwards, haven't you? So, yeah. I guess, look at that ocean, it's gorgeous. I sometimes think I'd love a house or even an apartment that looks out over the sea or whatever. I wonder if you'd ever get bored of it. Probably not, I don't know. I'm very jealous of the people that live in Cleethorpes and get to see the sunrise. I feel like I'd much rather have a sunset, so maybe I belong in the west of the country, but I don't want to move away from my family. I want to be near my family. And I've been thinking a lot recently, this is very personal, but I might have mentioned it to people, but I'm from Scunthorpe, born and bred in Scunthorpe. I've thought a lot about potentially moving back there, particularly just to be with family. But also, one of my hobbies is walking. I love going for walks. And I feel like Scunthorpe has got some nice walks. I mean, don't get me wrong, so is like Cleethorpes and Grimsby. But yeah, I sort of miss some of the walks that I used to go on in Scunthorpe. And even when I was at uni in Lincoln, there were some lovely walks there too, and I do miss that. But Lincoln is very busy. The good news about that is you've got everything you want there, all the shops and everything. Scunthorpe's like a happy mix between. I feel like the shopping around Grimsby is not fantastic. We've got the basics, but yeah, I think that's the wrong one. Yeah, that's the right one, isn't it? So I started thinking about putting a roof on this house, and that I'll just put the extra. I need three more bedrooms, really, don't I? The extra three bedrooms in the attic space, and then once I've tried it, oh, do I change the roof? Okay, I was wondering what I was doing there. Um, I guess that's just there's not too much deep slate. Was that the right choice? I'm not sure. But yeah, I definitely like a bit of variety now and then. So yeah, I end up thinking I'll try and squeeze the three bedrooms up here, and it looks like there's plenty of space, but it ends up being really awkward. I don't know why. Like, look at all that space. Surely you can fit three bedrooms in there. This house again is different to the other three that I've built, so I'm trying to make every house just a little bit different. If you've got any suggestions, let me know. I don't know how long I'll stick to that. I don't know if it's something I should stick to. I suppose it just makes it an interesting watch. If I'm making like the same house every single episode, it's boring, isn't it? Apart from the direction that we're expanding in. I keep thinking I just can't wait till the whole island is unlocked, and then I imagine that we're going to be going up like skyscrapers. It's going to turn into a big city. But yeah, super excited for where this series will go in the future. And the great thing about this series is there's no pressure. I'm not committing to like an episode a day or anything. I can literally do it when I feel like it. I would love to be putting more videos out. It's just the time I get to make them. You know, life gets in the way, but it is what it is. And there's no harm in having like a little hobby, doing this every now and then. Because today, really, I've got loads of planning work that I need to do. I've got loads of housework I need to do, shopping, washing, ironing, boring adult stuff. Um, and I just need a bit of a life as well, because when I'm at work, it's literally work. And even in the evenings, I'm planning. I just don't get a break from it. So I think it's really good that I've sort of acknowledged that and trying to find ways to get around it. So I was going to put a bedroom in there at the front, but if you look at kind of where I've placed it, and you'll see in a minute, it's a really awkward, tight little space that you can't really get around. I mean, maybe I'm too precious about having a double bed and a bedside table either side, but I think that's reasonable to ask from a bedroom. So I was thinking, I mean, that could either be a single bedroom or like a shower room or something. Um, and yeah, I'm still feeling fairly optimistic about squeezing the bedrooms in, excuse me, at the minute. But it doesn't quite go to plan, so I have to expand even further upwards. And the interesting thing about having to go even further upwards is you've got to dedicate more space in the house to a staircase, unless I use a ladder. But I mean, obviously, we don't really use ladders, and I want my house to be as realistic as possible. There definitely will be houses that people use ladders in, but know how awkward. How awkward. I mean, I've even thought about like maybe even buying a bungalow at some point. Um, it was interesting actually because I did build my dream house on Minecraft, and it just consolidated a few things for me, because I've always thought about the things that I want from a house, but never known exactly what it would be like. And it was really interesting to try. I said, you know what, I'm going to build my dream house and see what it actually is. And it was really interesting to see what it was like, because yeah, this is where I realised, look, I need a bit more space for that bedroom. Which I don't know, maybe I could have got away with it, but I'd rather have a big room than a room that's too small. So yeah, just assessing the space I've got there. Um, but yeah, by building this house, the house that I ended up building, and I'm happy to show you if anybody wants to see it, just let me know. Um, ends up being a two-bedroom bungalow. Like, what? I did not see that coming. So it's interesting to say that I was thinking I'd need some great big mansion. Turns out I'm pretty humble, but I don't know. It was an absolutely massive bungalow. It's got like a separate room for a pool table, whatever, because I love playing pool every so often. Oh, I moved that wall back. Okay, interesting. Oh, what am I doing? I genuinely don't know what I'm doing. Again, this is the issue with things being pre-recorded. I think at some point getting a capture card is the way forward. I'm just too careful with my money. I mean, to be fair, I don't know if it'll ever made any money from YouTube. I'd think really carefully about how I use that. So like, I'd probably reinvest a percentage, give away a percentage. I'd love to be able to like do rewards for my viewers and stuff. Like maybe one day. It's obviously a bit awkward while I'm a teacher. But yeah, there's no idea what the future holds. At the minute, literally just doing it for fun. So I'm putting the roof on, but as you might have seen and heard, eventually I end up having to change it anyway. So it's a little bit of a waste of my time. Let's let's fast forward a little bit and see what I end up doing. So I've put the roof on, still making it look pretty fine, and I think it looks okay. It's definitely got character. The problem is the bedrooms, really. So it ends up going up even further, and I guess, I mean, it's definitely not a skyscraper, but very unrealistic from a house, I suppose. To have, I mean, how many floors does it have? 3? You'll see. You will see. So yeah, just grabbing a glass block there to put in the windows. We've got a rabbit in the way. I probably should have just whacked it. I'm not about animal cruelty though. It's not even a real animal. So silly. So yeah, I think the house looks nice. It's got a nice kind of aesthetic about it. Definitely going for those deep slate bricks I think was a good idea. Right, so that's a bedroom, isn't it? Yeah, going from the inside. Yeah, maybe move that window a little bit. Yeah, smaller window, that's practical. Because having a window in front of a staircase, I mean, it happens in some fancy modern buildings, but it doesn't happen very often. I definitely love like the whole architect thing, and there is a year 9 student that keeps telling me, so why don't you be an architect? You always wanted to be an architect and you're good at that sort of thing. And yeah, I agree, but I don't know, upon reflection, I mean, I'd have to go back to uni for a very long time and it would cost me a heck of a lot of money. Yeah, I'm thinking about the space here now, look, so I'm trying to put a room in the attic. It doesn't really work out. You'll see. I'll explain it when it happens. But yeah, with the architect thing, yes, I'd love to do it. But I've explained as well in reality, I said to my sister and her boyfriend, I think, yeah, it seems great, you know, making buildings how you want to do them. But in reality, um, you're going to get clients that say they want things certain ways. And I bet there's actually a lot of like maths and physics in it, working out the strength of things and whether you can put certain things in certain places. I'm always baffled because I've got like a fairly open planned living room. I'm like, how does like all that weight on the ceiling? I mean, there must be like beams in there and stuff, but it just makes me a bit anxious, especially because of the layout of my house. Like the bath is literally above the living room, and I think when that bath is full of water, it must be so heavy. Like, how does the ceiling hold all that weight? I don't know. Maybe just me thinking crazy. So yeah, look, I tried to put a room up here, but once you put the staircase in, we end up really stuck for space. So yeah, it's a bit of a problem. So then I start thinking, right, well, what can I do? And I just add another floor in, which is a shame because it ends up going from what would have been like a fairly realistic house, in my opinion, um, to something that, yeah, is a bit quirky. But I had to make it a 5 bedroom house. Maybe I should have gone out to the side instead of upwards. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Have you got any suggestions? Because I suppose there was some space in that tile. I just don't want to. I like that it's got the natural kind of like sand hill. I don't want to lose too much of that character. Gosh, it's boring if you're just building in super flat, isn't it? I'm really glad that I've actually got an island for this series. I think that's interesting because eventually we're going to run out of space in certain directions and have to go upwards, and that's the thing that I'm really looking forward to. So perhaps while I sort of finish this off then, and I'll explain what's going on in the background, let's try and work out which direction we're going to go in. So remember, north is 1, east is 2, um, south is 3, and west is 4. Too much for my little brain. So we'll see which direction we're going to go into. I'll get Siri to pick a number. So pick a number between 1 and 4. 4. So that is west, isn't it? So we've got to go to the west. Now, when I get a chance, then we'll look at the options for the west tiles and get Siri to pick which west tile we're going to unlock. I think there's 2. No, there's more than 2, isn't there? So there's the one that I've unlocked in this episode, which is just to the left of me now. There's 1 bordering that. There's just behind this one. I think, is that unlocked? I need to have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, so the one behind that tile that I've built the house in, there's that one, and there's also the one to the right. So there's 3 different options that I can expand into the west. So let's see which tile we're going to unlock. I'm going to number them. The one in that direction is going to be 1, and behind me will be 3. So 1 to 3. Pick a number between 1 and 3. 1. So I'm going to be unlocking the tile just next to the one that I've unlocked. You'll see in the next episode if you don't know what I'm on about, and I'll try and explain at the end if I can. Again, this is the thing about not recording live. I can't kind of change what's going on in the video just to show you where it is, but it is that one just down there behind the house. So the only thing left for Siri to determine is, yeah, it's that tile there. That tile there that I'm basically looking at. Is to determine how many bedrooms I need to add. Now remember, I don't have to build the house in that tile. It just has to be in a tile that's been unlocked so far. So we'll pick a number between 1 and 5. The maximum is 5 bedrooms, the minimum is 1 bedroom. So let's see. Pick a number between 1 and 5. 1. So it's only got to be a 1 bedroom house, which is fantastic because if I had to do another 5 bedroom house like this, yeah, I don't know if I'm happy with how this turned out in the end. I mean, it's different. It's got that. There's definitely, and I don't know how everyone feels about these super long episodes too. Like, do you want to see the full build, or would you rather me just give a tour of the final product? Somebody commented on my last video saying that it was a nice build. Never know if people are being serious. It seems like a fairly serious comment, but thank you if that was you. Very nice to get a bit of feedback, and every little comment or even view or even a like, every little thing just makes you think, oh wow, somebody's taken some enjoyment from it and it's worthwhile doing. I mean, even if no one watches it, I'm just enjoying the journey, so not the end of the world. Right, so I'm practically done with this house now. I don't. I think I give a house tour at the end, but we'll have to see. Yeah, look at all that ocean, and I can't wait. I think when we've got like a waterside tile as well. I mean, I know you can have farms inland, but obviously at the minute we're in sand dunes desert. It's really dry, so we'd have to somehow maybe have a well or something to get the water. Um, I mean, because if we're sticking to the rules, nobody can go in those other tiles to go and fetch the water or whatever. And I know it's purely just make believe. It's me being silly, but I'm just enjoying the challenge because I never know which direction the world's going to expand in next. Um, yeah, so this is final product. It looks a bit odd, doesn't it? It's basically like a house on top of a house, and I quite like how that little house on top looks. Maybe that could be my inspiration for the next house that I build. Yeah, let's put that in. That doesn't look right. That's a bit better. Is it the same on the other side? Yeah. Oh, I've done that wrong. There we go. So yeah, it does look a bit quirky. It's almost like someone's had a house and then built a house on top of it. But that is, I believe, my 5-bedroom house, and I guess I'll give you a little tour of it. I think it looks nice. I really like the deep slate. The rabbit has still not moved from the window, for God's sake. Um, so yeah, we're going to unlock that tile behind next. It'll be interesting how I kind of connect it with the streets and whatever. I think maybe down the hill and across. We'll see. And I might go and make it now. I'm just in the mood to game. I want to escape from just teaching all the time. It literally takes over your life. But yeah, it'll be Easter holidays soon. I'm on countdown. I'll get there. I do really think teaching is not a job that I want for the rest of my life. It's definitely a job that I want for now. I'm not saying I want to get out like straight away. But yeah, it's not a long-term goal for me. Long-term goal, if anything, is to get out of it because it's so stressful, such long hours. And I wouldn't mind if I really felt like I was enjoying myself and making a difference, and sometimes it doesn't feel like that. So we might even have space for a room up there. I don't think I put a room up there in the end though. Or do I? No, maybe I do because I think I put the shower room up there, put some stairs up. Honestly, can't remember, so we'll see what happens. I did try and like watch the recording dead quick before I started talking over it, just so I knew what was coming. Because it was age. I mean, when I looked at this recording, I don't know if you can see if I do this, but it says down here Minecraft 2026. So this is not English format. It's basically, I think, the 1st of March. So it was recorded like 2 weeks ago, and even still, it's not going to go live today. So it was, yeah, a while ago that I made it. So this is the end of my recording. It looks like I don't specifically go into what rooms are which. If someone wants to see that, let me know. But I'm going to unlock that tile to the left that you can see now and add a 1-bedroom property to my world. And then we're getting to the point now where we've got a bit of a community. So perhaps I can start thinking about, sort of jobs and stuff. I think it's still too small of a community for like a village shop or something, but people would be maybe selling things at their gates, things like that. So yeah, let's see where this creative series goes next. Thank you so much for watching. Did you enjoy watching a full build, or would you prefer the episodes where I just show you a tour of what I've done? I don't know. So yeah, anyway, I'm enjoying it. So hopefully someone else enjoying it, and yeah, we'll see what I've built for the next episode because I have no idea at the minute. Let's go and do it. Let's see. So thanks for watching, and hopefully see you again soon.